Hello, this is Daniel Park. Good to see you again. During last 2 weeks, I have visited Bangkok, Thailand. I met many partners in customer service industry, and also I have done a good presentation of my future business plan with these partners. We have discussed about cooperation, and also we have discussed about joint investment in my business here. The feedback from partners was quite good, and now they are internally discussing about how to organize this cooperation together. And also, in next 1-2 weeks of time, they will feed back to me about their final conclusions. I hope I will get the successful result and starting work together with these teams. It was very meaningful business trip for last 2 weeks in Thailand. And there was some more progress about the software development, which is the platform, the systems, right? I have recruited 2-3 candidates in India. You know that the development cost in Korea is expensive. That's why I decided to pick up some software company in India, set up a team in India, and the development would happen in India. Through this recruitment process, I have done also the presentation of the platform business plan to the candidate, and they well understood. There was some the communication between us about questions about the process or system, infrastructure, whatever. Somewhere in second week of September, I'm planning to visit India to discuss further and make a final conclusion which candidate would work together with me as a team to lead this project in India. So it was very busy for last 2 weeks. So that is the reason why I could not upload the video content for last 2 weeks, right? Today, as I announced in the previous video, I'm going to explain about electronics customer service center overview, especially for the walk-in, somebody called carry-in service center. I'm going to explain that today. By the way, in the sales store, there is a service counter handling some consultation or easy repair, simple repair cases. So we call this normally in-store service counter. So this in-store service is not included in the basic concept of a walk-in service center, right? So today, this in-store service concept would not be included in my explanation, all right? This walk-in service center provide facilities where customer can bring their product and request the service. Many different type of service, like repair or technical support or purchasing accessories, or many other small support that customer can get from this service center. This is good for mostly small sized product and also those portable product, right? Some brand requires pre-booking before customer visit as mandatory, but most of the case, without reservation, they can just visit service center. But definitely, when customer make a pre-booking, when they step into the service center, they would get some kind of priority, right? And from customer point of view, this walk-in service center is really convenient. They are located in the accessible distance near to the customer's residence or even customer's workplace. Even customer can visit anytime. If a repair cannot be completed immediately, customer can just drop the phone or drop the product, and then they can come back in the afternoon or even next day at their conveniences, right? This walk-in service center provide that kind of conveniences, right? And some brand or some service center also provide free delivery options after repair complete. So if they cannot immediately repair the customer's product, they can provide next day or even same day free delivery service to the customer locations. So customer, if they cannot wait, they can just go back to their work, and then service center will arrange the free delivery to the customer also, only for those premium product. It's a part of a marketing strategy from brand or from the service center themselves. But brand point of view, this walk-in service center operation is a bit costly. To provide national coverage at customers' place, we needed to set up a big quantity of a service center, even though they are not directly operating. They are using authorized service center concept. Still, they needed to have a small organization who regularly, visit service center, and then discussion about, operation and the monitoring of those operation. It is a lot of cost, everywhere. So this service center concept is good for customer, but at the same time, it brings some cost increase to the brand point of view. But some brands still prefer to have this walk-in service center to differentiate their brand image through the enhancement of customer service operation. It is a kind of marketing tool. But remember, to provide such a perfect service in this walk-in service center operation, they needed to have spare parts. They need to have well-trained technicians. They also needed to have a well-trained, the consulting agent at the front office. If none of those, if any of those provide very poor service, then their marketing strategy does not really work that way. So securing spare parts availability and then continuously training the technicians, keeping the good level of repair skills, and providing many different type of training to the consulting agent in front office, like empathy training, even process policy training, whatever, warranty policy training. And then we can provide immediate and very good, best in class service quality to the customer. Then, they can get, what they want, from the marketing strategy. This is a really good program from that point of view. Okay, now let me go through overview of walk-in service center. This layout on the screen is actually designed, produced by myself, depending on my experience during my corporate time, by brand or by product handling in the center, or even the structure of the building where service center is built in. Layout of this walk-in service center may be different, but fundamental function or zone arrangement would be exactly same. Let me go through the zones in the service center we have. When customers step into the service center, there is a queue machine zone and the waiting zone, and there is a service consulting stations where agent is sitting down, and the cashier tables. And besides the waiting zone, they have accessory display or sales counter, or they have a product display or sales counter also. Inside the office, they have a repair workshop for carry-in customers. At the same time, they have a workshop for pickup set, which they pick up from a dealer located in the near market. And also in between these two repair workshops, there is a spare parts store. And in the backside, they have a back office where service center administration staff or even accounting staff is sitting and follow up all the daily issues, daily operations. And there is a meeting room also. There is a storage where they can keep document and many other things, right? And there is a multi-purpose space where they organize some like team meeting, that kind of things. If I go through the zone by zone, the first one is the queue machine. When customers step into the service center, there is a queue stand. And then, customer pick up one queue number through the menu. The menu can be designed, the menu tree can be designed in several ways. It can be designed by product, it can be designed by purpose of visit, it can be designed combination of those. Each service center has a different operation, different product handling. That's why this menu design is very important. Each selection of each menus can be guided to the operation of each teams in the service center. So menu design is directly related to the efficiency of service center operations, to maximize the productivity, to directly guide the customer to the person who is directly in charge of those. So this kind of queue machine, normally they can think just to pick up the number, go to the counter, whoever, but it is not really like that. If we pay more attention, we can design good and the optimum menu trees with which we can get very efficient operation of service centers. This queue machine can be purchased from local market anywhere. The software installation in one PC server in the service center and installation of software in each stations of staff working in the service center, they can communicate through the queue numbers, right? So this is also very important. Next is a service consulting station. The agent sitting here, they are providing general consulting, technical consulting. They even create work orders, including entry-level screening, which means, checking the product and indicating, damaged case, and then they leave the evidence to avoid some complaint from customer after repair complete, right? So they also scan all of those and keep all the evidence when they create work orders. If a customer visits the service center, they deliver back to the customer about the product after repair. Cashiers sitting in the desk also, they are collecting service charges from customers. And these agents, in the old time, we call them receptionists. Receptionist means, just receiving the customer and creating work orders and passing the product through the repair workshop for repair. But these days, a lot of digital product, smartphone and other portable digital product can be easily supported with very quick solutions. So these agents also well trained these days. So such a simple repair cases without creating work orders, they are creating simple tickets and then they provide solution to the customer without passing the product through the workshop. This is all happening these days in the service consulting stations. After consulting is complete, either many ways, when work order is created, for example, customer come back to the waiting zone and then they have several options during waiting time. They can just relax in the sofa, or they can go through all the corners to see the product display, accessory display. They can even buy the product, buy the accessories. I'm also doing some study on this, how to sell the product at service center more. I have seen many service center with a good result of sales. I also have seen many service centers with a very small quantity of sales. It is not easy, I think. Service center need a lot of idea creation here to maximize the sales. Customer who was very satisfied with the quality of service at this counter, at this service center, they may consider to purchase, oh, this is good. And then repurchasing is happening also. And some customer is being offered with a very expensive repair charges. Instead of repairing the product, maybe they can change their mind to purchase new product. This is also possible. So I'm doing a good study right now. Wherever I visit service centers, I always check with them, do you sell product? Or what is your sales last month? How you make that kind of good sales? This kind of questions. I'm doing that kind of study these days. And the repair workshop for walk-in customers. Inside here, we have one dedicated service tracking person in charge who is supervising all the operation in the workshop. Normally, this person receives the product through the pigeonhole from the consulting stations. This pigeonhole is very efficient way. Without pigeonhole, agent at the consulting station should walk into the services workshop to hand over the product. But through the pigeonhole, they can just pass the product through the pigeonhole. It is a time-saving process, I think. When service tracking person in charge receive the product, he or she check the product and symptom initially. There is a certain logic for that. And then that person allocates the product to the engineer. Allocation of the product to the engineer, we need a very smart logic here to maximize the productivity, to finish the product repair at very fast way. It depends on the design of the logic depends on the several different categories like premium product, non-premium product, and who is a senior engineer, who is a junior, and which engineer has how many pending calls, workload, and also if the product is repeated repair cases, do we allocate the product to the same engineer who previously repaired that, or maybe we can allocate to the senior engineer to avoid third repair, fourth repair. There are certain combination of difficult logics. That is the key, operation logic in this repair workshop. Engineers in the workshop, after they receive the product which is allocated to them, they go through all the symptom problems. After they fully understand, they check the product, and when they need a spare parts, they are ordering the materials through the system, through the PC, and the parts store person in charge immediately hand over the material to the engineer. Then engineer complete the repair. Finally, having quality control, like outbound quality control to check all things, product is repaired completely, something like that. And then they hand over to the service tracking person in charge again. Then this service tracking person in charge will go through, after checking everything, they will hand over to the consulting station, even the cashiers, to deliver the product to the customer, right? This is what happened in the repair workshop. And spare parts store, I'm going to explain the most important function in the service center. Spare parts is the most important item in the operation of a service center. And that is the reason why we needed to have a very experienced person working in the service parts stores. They are keeping required spare parts based on many different logics. For new model which does not have a consumption history, So they need to know which spare parts is mostly required for the initial start, right? And learning model cases, they know what is the important spare parts, but based on the mostly last 3 months consumption data based forecasting logic is being provided by the CRM system. Or if they don't have that kind of CRM system, they can regularly or maybe weekly downloading last 3 months consumption data in Excel file. They can do some internal calculation of what is the monthly or weekly average usage of the material. Based on that usage, they can recommend to keep 1 week inventory level or 2 week inventory level depending on by each product, right? That kind of logic, this person is doing that job because spare parts inventory is the cash, right? If we fail to control spare parts inventory in a perfect way, service center will start to lose money. So this, spare parts control, they need to be very smart and accurate. For those safety stock, sometimes becoming non-moving stock. That's why they should have such a good contract with the brand, non-moving stock return policy, something like that. Spare parts is most important, but it can be the reason why their P&L, profit and loss, is getting problems, right? So they needed to get such a good, contract with the brand, and they needed to have such a good logic to keep all required, spare parts inventory levels in the service center. And regarding the, forecasting logic, actually it is very difficult to explain here because it has many different ways: initial, learning, or center usage based forecasting, or national usage based forecasting. If any of you have any interest, please give me the question through the community channel. Then I will personally answer with my opinion about that. And repair workshop for pickup product. In this pickup product handling workshop, we also have a service tracking person in charge who is in charge of work order creation, checking all the documents, and the allocation of the product to the engineers, and follow up all related tasks, something like that. And the engineers in this workshop also do repair, material request, quality control after repair complete, something like that. Product is mostly coming in at bulky quantity basis. It is collected from genuine collection point that most of the brand arranges, or it is coming in through the dealer sales stores collection cases, right? Sometimes with the arrangement from brand side, work order is created at the time of collection. And in this case, service tracking person in charge, they are updating when product is received at service center. But some cases without prior creation of work orders, this person create new fresh work orders at this time of point. And most of the case in the pickup workshop, they complete repairs within same day or within next day. Finally, D+1, which means next day they ship out to the location of collection. So within next day repair completion is the target of these operations. And we also have a back offices where service center managers sitting around here, and also administration staff, accounting staff, HR, something like that. And there is a meeting room also. There is also storage where we keep document or many other things in these locations, right? The multi-purpose, space is being utilized for relaxing or, the team meeting, or even they have a coffee time, pantry, that kind of things, right? Okay, so today I went through overall concept of a walk-in service center standard and its layout, and zone by zone I have explained. Maybe my explanation is not enough, but I think it covered the basic conceptual understanding of a walk-in service center operation. If you guys have any kind of questions, please go into the community session of my channel. Please post your questions. I will personally answer the questions through this posting. Thank you, and see you next time.